I hadn't looked at my old Discord account for a really long time. I used to be on it a lot when I was in middle school and playing Minecraft. When high school started, I got busy with life and I totally forgot about it. Then one day, I got a message notification. I was surprised because I didn't think anyone remembered I had that account. Someone named Unknown2000 sent a creepy message. They said they knew where I lived, which made me really scared. I was going to block them, but then they sent another message. Look at your front door. I was by myself at home and felt both curious and scared. Even though I knew it might not be a good idea, I went to the front door and peeked outside. Suddenly, I got a photo on Discord. It was a picture of me looking out the window. Someone was outside taking pictures of me. I got really scared, screamed, and jumped back. My hands were shaking as I held onto my phone. Someone sent a scary message saying they could see me and wanted to come in. I got really scared because it felt like they knew where I was, even inside my home. I quickly locked everything and ran around making sure all the doors and windows were safe. I felt really scared and overwhelmed, and when I finally stopped, I couldn't calm down because I kept thinking of scary things. People kept sending messages asking me to open the door. I begged them to stop bothering me, but they kept sending pictures of me looking scared at home. They were spying on me and wanted to scare me. I felt stuck and didn't know what to do. I called my mom, crying and telling her everything. She got really serious, telling me to hide in the basement and called the police to help. Police came, but the person following us had disappeared. They collected all the scary messages and pictures to check them out, and we got a paper from the court to keep that person away. My mom made our home safer by adding cameras, alarms, and new locks. She started driving me everywhere, which made me feel a bit young, but I also felt much more protected. For days, I was really scared about something bad that might happen. But then something surprising happened. Police found out where the person bothering me online was from. It turned out he was a dangerous person, goes after kids like me on the internet. The police stopped him from using his accounts and took away his things. I felt so much better and relieved. Now he couldn't keep doing what he was doing without getting caught. My mom was amazing. She stopped a bad person from hurting others. It was hard, but I learned a lot. I promised to always trust myself. If someone online feels strange, I'll block and report them. My mom taught me to turn this scary experience into a lesson about listening to my gut feelings. Let's talk about those chats on Discord. There was someone who was acting like a stalker, using the name Unknown2000. They were really good at pretending to know me. They'd find little pieces of information about me and talk about them, making it seem like they knew a lot about my life. It was really unsettling because they'd bring up stuff I mentioned a while ago, like they'd been watching me for a long time to scare me with their threats. They sent scary messages. Sometimes they acted nice, asking about my day to make me trust them. But other times, they turned scary, saying creepy things about watching me and wanting to hurt me. They were playing mind games, trying to scare me and mess with how I felt. Something scary happened. They asked for $500 and threatened to make things worse if I didn't pay. Everything went crazy after that. I felt really scared and didn't know what to do. But I called my mom and the police, and even though it was hard, it was the best choice I made. The cops worked really hard on the case. They looked through everything online the stalker did. Turns out, he wasn't some genius. He was just a messed up person who liked scaring young folks like me. It felt good to know he wasn't as unbeatable as he acted. Later, my mom made sure I felt safe. Talking to someone helped me deal with the bad experience. Little by little, I started feeling better about myself. My mom changed this scary thing into a chance to make me stronger. She taught me to speak up and trust myself. That's how a really scary person online taught me to be brave and careful. Changed how I act online, and I'll always remember this story. My friend was really into Discord, a chat app for gamers. He talked to people from all over the world who liked the same games. One day he met a girl named Lori from the UK while playing a pirate game. They got along really well and started talking a lot, even when they weren't playing games. Then, he surprised her by asking if she wanted to be his girlfriend, and she said yes. It felt strange to me because when my parents were as young as I am now, they didn't use cell phones. But I understand that things have changed. I wanted to be happy for him, it being his first girlfriend and all. Also, since they're so far apart, I didn't think they'd accidentally end up having a baby or anything like that. One Sunday, my friend came out of his room, looking really serious. My family and I asked him what was wrong, but he just shrugged and said everything was okay, then went back inside. My parents looked at each other, and my dad went after him to try and find out what was bothering him. My friend was acting like everything was fine, but it was obvious he was upset about something. When my dad asked about Lori, my friend got defensive and asked why my dad was always asking about his personal life. It was clear that talking about Lori was a sensitive topic, so my parents decided to leave them alone and didn't ask any more questions. My friend got really sad after a month. He stayed in his room most of the time, only coming out for school or dinner. We thought it was because of his breakup, but one day, my dad overheard him talking online, calling someone babe and mentioning Lori. We thought they were still talking but having problems because they were far apart. Long-distance relationships are hard, even if you're just a few states away. But these two were separated by a whole ocean. That must have been tough. It wasn't just because he was far away. My friend was feeling really down, and my parents thought about finding him someone to talk to, like a therapist. Then, suddenly, he seemed really happy one day. He was more cheerful, talked a lot, and even hung out with us more, which was unusual for a teenager. We wondered if he'd met someone new or decided not to be friends with Lori anymore. One Saturday morning, my friend disappeared suddenly after we had breakfast. My dad couldn't find him in his room, so he asked me if I knew where he went. I didn't. Dad seemed worried and said he had a headache. He went downstairs to get some medicine. Suddenly, I heard him running back upstairs. Confused, I stepped into the hallway and saw the pillbox on the bathroom floor, almost empty. Then I realized what happened. I hurried to my friend's room, and there was Dad, trying to wake him up. My friend was unconscious. There was vomit nearby, and empty pill containers were scattered around. Dad quickly goes downstairs to call 911, and I start shaking my friend, begging him to wake up. The only light in the room is coming from his computer. I see his computer screen. It's a window from Discord with a webcam showing a girl hanging. It scares me a lot, but I try to concentrate on helping my friend. Dad returns, talks to the emergency line, but suddenly stops when he sees the girl on the computer screen. He turns off the computer while still talking to the person on the phone, who's asking if he's still there. The ambulance quickly takes him to the hospital. We're all really worried as we wait. When the doctor finally gives us news, I'm really scared. Luckily, we got there just in time. The doctors help him by cleaning out his stomach and giving him medicine, and he gets better. But the girl we thought might be Lori, shown on the screen, didn't survive. When my friend woke up in the hospital, he was crying a lot and kept saying sorry again and again. He told me everything that happened, and I was shocked. He and someone else made a promise to do something really bad to stop feeling so hurt. It was hard to believe, but when he told me, it seemed like a weight lifted off his shoulders, even though it made me really sad. We got him some help from a therapist, and now he's feeling much better. We don't check what he does online anymore, but my parents said no more computers in his room. They found out about the bad things on the internet. Sometimes I wish I never knew about the scary stuff out there. It's really hard because those things bother me a lot and won't leave my mind. But we're trying our best to keep going, helping each other out. And my friend, he's working really hard to get better and move on from this. Life can surprise you, and sometimes it brings tough things you never thought you'd have to deal with. But we're getting through it, taking things step by step. Before I continue to the next story, if you are interested in earning from YouTube without showing your face, or without making videos by yourself using artificial intelligence, like the video that you are watching right now, then I have a special free training for you. Check the first link in the description below to get instant access. Not long ago, I met an amazing guy on Tinder, and we really hit it off. We started with coffee dates, then moved to having drinks together. Suddenly, we were in a super exciting love story. We couldn't stop texting, spent lots of time at each other's homes, and talked about all the cool things we wanted to do together. It was like being totally in love. One day, everything seemed great between us, but then he wanted to talk seriously. I thought he might want to break up, but it wasn't that. It was different and surprising. He told me he's poly, which means he wants an open relationship. I didn't fully get it then, but I really liked him. So I said okay. That choice ended up being really bad. At the beginning, I said I didn't want to know about the other people he was dating. But later on, I started feeling jealous. To help me deal with it, he showed me Discord, an app that's not only for games, but for making all sorts of connections. I joined a Discord group called The Farm, but it wasn't about farming at all. People were friendly, talking about poly and giving compliments. I even talked to another girl to make someone happy. Surprisingly, it seemed like it made me more liked. After that, something bad happened. Somebody on Discord sent me something really not okay, asking for us to do something together that's not appropriate. I didn't respond, thinking they'd get in trouble and be removed from the server. But when I told my friend about it, he took their side and said I was just feeling jealous. About a month later, something really scary happened. I saw a man from the grocery store near my home. He looked at me in a way that made me nervous. That night, someone tried to get into my place. I got really scared, so I called the police and took my phone and a gun from a safe. Thankfully, the banging stopped right when the cops got there. After the police went away, I got a message from my friend. He just said, "I'm sorry." When I called him, he was crying a lot. It turns out someone from an online group called Discord had gone to his place and forced him to tell me to break up with him. He even found out where I live. That really shook me up. This person from Discord had followed me from the store, tried to get into my place, and I had no clue what they wanted. I realized that this whole thing with Polly wasn't just making me feel jealous. It was actually putting me in danger. Me and my guy broke up shortly after that. It was really sad, but everything got so messed up that we couldn't fix it. After that, we never talked again. I asked him to let this creepy guy know we were over and to stop bothering me. Now, whenever I hear about Discord, it makes me nervous. I've learned that the internet isn't always safe. There are scary things going on that aren't so innocent. People on Discord talked a lot about their open relationships and shared experiences. It was mostly friendly, like a community where some gave advice and others chatted about everyday things. But then, something unexpected happened. I was talking to someone who seemed friendly. We chatted about things we liked, laughed together, and everything seemed okay. Suddenly, they sent something really inappropriate and asked if I wanted to do something strange. It made me feel uneasy, and now I'm not sure if I want to keep using Discord. When I talked to my boyfriend about it, I was surprised by how he reacted. Instead of saying it was wrong, he kind of made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. He said I was overreacting and just feeling jealous. That made me worried because it felt like I couldn't rely on his opinion. I got really worried when I saw the guy from the store hanging around my place. It made me feel uncomfortable, and I couldn't stop feeling like something was wrong. Then, when someone tried to break in, it felt like all my fears came true. It taught me that even friendly chats online can turn bad. It's not just harmless talk sometimes. There can be scary things hiding behind it all. And that's really frightening to realize.